Hey everyone, welcome back to the Personal Growth Talks podcast, where we break down the best books, ideas, and strategies to help you live your absolute best life. I'm your host, Jackson, and today we're diving into a book that's transformed how millions of people approach their goals, Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you've ever struggled to stick with a new habit, felt like you're not making progress, or wondered how small changes can lead to big results, this episode is for you. We're going to unpack the key ideas, share practical tips, and get you fired up to build habits that stick. So, grab your coffee, tea, or maybe just a notebook, find a comfy spot, and let's dive in. Oh, and if you love learning how to level up your life, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. All right, let's get started. So, what's Atomic Habits all about? At its core, it's a guide to building good habits and breaking bad ones by focusing on small, consistent changes. James Clear, a habit expert who studied the science of behavior, argues that massive success doesn't come from massive actions. It comes from tiny, incremental improvements that compound over time. Think of it like planting a seed. One small action today can grow into something life-changing. The book isn't just a dry self-help manual. It's packed with stories, science, and practical tools that make it super relatable and actionable. Clear shares his own journey, including how he rebuilt his life after a devastating injury by using habits, which makes the book feel personal and inspiring. Whether you want to exercise regularly, eat healthier, or finally write that novel, Atomic Habits gives you a blueprint to make it happen. Let's break it down into the key ideas and show you how to put them into action. Section 1. The power of small changes. The big idea in Atomic Habits is that small changes, when done consistently, lead to remarkable results. Clear calls this the 1% better rule. If you improve by just 1% every day, those tiny gains compound over time into massive transformation. For example, imagine you want to get fit. Instead of aiming for an hour at the gym right away, start with 5 push-ups a day. Sounds small, right? But over months, those push-ups could lead to a full workout routine. Clear shares a story about the British cycling team who went from mediocrity to dominating the Olympics by making 1% improvements in everything: bike design, nutrition, even the way they washed their hands to avoid illness. The result? They won gold. The lesson? Don't underestimate small actions. They add up. Here's why this matters. Most of us fail at habits because we try to do too much, too fast. We go all in on a new diet or a crazy productivity system, then burn out. Clear says to focus on atomic habits, small, manageable actions that are easy to do, but powerful over time. For example, want to read more? Start with 1 page a night. Want to meditate? Try 1 minute of deep breathing. These tiny steps are so doable that you can't fail, and that builds momentum. Quick tip: pick one habit you want to start and make it ridiculously small. Like, I'll floss 1 tooth, or I'll write 1 sentence. You'll be amazed at how the micro habits grow. Section 2. The 4 Laws of Behavior Change. The heart of Atomic Habits is Clear's 4-step framework for building good habits and breaking bad ones. He calls these the 4 Laws of Behavior Change, and they're like a cheat code for habits. Here they are with practical ways to use them. 1. Make it obvious. Cue. Habits start with a cue, something that triggers the behavior. To build a good habit, make the cue obvious. For example, if you want to drink more water, put a water bottle on your desk where you can't miss it. Clear suggests habit stacking, where you pair a new habit with an existing one. Say you want to stretch every morning. Stack it with your coffee routine. After I pour my coffee, I'll do 2 minutes of stretching. For bad habits, make the cue invisible. Want to stop scrolling social media? Keep your phone in another room during work hours. I tried this with my phone and moved my charger to the kitchen. It cut my mindless scrolling by half too. Make it attractive. Craving. You're more likely to stick with a habit if it feels rewarding. Clear says to make habits appealing by linking them to something you enjoy. For example, if you love music, create a workout playlist and only listen to it while exercising. Or if you want to save money, visualize how awesome it'll feel to take that dream vacation. For bad habits, make them unattractive. If you're trying to quit junk food, think about how sluggish it makes you feel. Clear shares a story about a guy who quit smoking by imagining the smell as rotting garbage. Gross, but it worked. 3. Make it easy. Response. The easier a habit is, the more likely you'll do it. Clear says to reduce friction. Make the habit as simple as possible. Want to run every day? Lay out your running shoes and clothes the night before. Want to eat healthier? Keep pre-chopped veggies in the fridge. For bad habits, add friction. If you eat too many snacks, store them on a high shelf you can't easily reach. Clear's 2-minute rule is gold here. Start with a habit that takes 2 minutes or less. Instead of I'll meditate for 20 minutes, start with I'll take 10 deep breaths. I tried this with writing, starting with just 2 minutes a day. Now I'm writing for 30 minutes without even thinking about it. 4. Make it satisfying. Reward. Habits stick when they feel good. Clear suggests rewarding yourself immediately after a habit to reinforce it. For example, after a workout, treat yourself to a smoothie or a quick episode of your favorite show. You can also track your habits, like marking an X on a calendar, to make progress feel satisfying. For bad habits, make them unsatisfying. Clear tells a story about a woman who wanted to stop biting her nails, so she got an expensive manicure. The cost made her think twice before ruining it. Try this. After you complete a habit, give yourself a small reward, like a check mark on a habit tracker, or a moment to savor your progress. Section 3. The habit loop and long-term success. Clear explains that habits work in a loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. By using the 4 laws, you can hack this loop to make good habits automatic and bad ones harder to do. But here's the key to long-term success: consistency. Clear says it's not about being perfect, it's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. He introduces the never miss twice rule. If you miss a habit once, don't let it happen again. For example, if you skip your workout one day, make sure you do it the next. This keeps you from spiraling into giving up. Another big idea is identity-based habits. Instead of focusing on outcomes like, I want to lose 10 pounds, focus on who you want to become. I'm someone who exercises regularly. This shifts your mindset. For example, when I started saying, I'm a writer, instead of I want to write a book, it made sitting down to write feel natural. Try this. Write down one sentence about the person you want to be, like, I'm someone who prioritizes health. Then let your habits flow from that identity. Clear also talks about the plateau of latent potential. Sometimes you're working hard in a habit but don't see results right away. It's like pushing a boulder. It takes effort before it starts rolling. Don't give up during this phase. For example, you might eat healthy for weeks and not see the scale move, but your body is changing in ways you can't see yet. Keep going and the results will come. I love Clear's analogy of a stonecutter. You hit the stone 100 times and it doesn't crack until the 101st hit. All those earlier hits mattered, you just couldn't see it yet. Section 4. Overcoming challenges and making it work. Let's address the real-world stuff. Maybe you're thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have time. Or, I've tried habits before and I always fail. Clear gets it, and he's got solutions. If time is tight, use the 2-minute rule to start small. If you keep falling off track, review your environment. Your surroundings shape your habits. For example, I moved my TV out of my bedroom to stop late-night binging, and it made falling asleep earlier so much easier. If motivation is an issue, Clear says don't rely on it. Rely on systems. Set up cues, make habits easy, and reward yourself, and motivation will follow. For parents or busy folks, try habit stacking with existing routines. For example, do a quick stretch while your kids eat breakfast, or listen to an audiobook while commuting. If you're a night owl, you can still apply these principles. Maybe your habit time is 9 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. The key is consistency, not perfection. Clear shares a story about a guy who wanted to hit the gym but was too busy. He started by just driving to the gym, parking, and leaving. Sounds silly, but it built the habit of showing up, and soon he was working out regularly. Section 5. The Big Picture. The big takeaway from Atomic Habits is this: your habits shape your life. Small, consistent actions compound into massive results, whether that's a healthier body, a thriving career, or a happier mind. Clear's message is empowering. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start small, use the 4 laws, and focus on who you're becoming. Over time, those tiny habits will make you unstoppable. Here's a challenge for you. Pick one habit you want to build and apply the 4 laws for 1 week. Want to read more? Make it obvious. Put a book on your pillow. Attractive. Pick a book you're excited about. Easy. Read 1 page. And satisfying. Mark it on a tracker. Track how it feels and share your progress in the comments. I'd love to hear how it goes. If you're loving this summary and want more book breakdowns, let me know what's next. Maybe the 5 a.m. Club or the Power of Now. And if you try these habit hacks, drop a comment with your experience. All right, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for joining me to unpack Atomic Habits. If this resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who needs a habit boost, and subscribe for more content to help you live your best life. Until next time, keep building those tiny habits, chasing your goals, and becoming the person you're meant to be. This is Jackson signing off. See you in the next one.